Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, and welcome to this week's episode of One Man and His Boat. What are we doing today? Well, today we're actually going to get the Lynsey B back in the water. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for joining us here on another episode of One Man and His Boat. And today is launch day. Yes, at long last, after all winter, all these storms, we are getting the boat back in the water. Now, I have spent an absolute time and a half trying to get this beautiful lady back to a good fishing standard. As you can see behind me, she's got a nice gleam on her, and I can't wait to get that gleam dirty again. But before we actually launch the boat, what I want to do is actually go round the boat and show you just some of the jobs that I actually got on with over the winter. Right guys, as you've seen in a previous vlog, that we actually put this extra weather strip on. Now, we were getting a lot of damage to the actual gunnel itself, so that's when I thought we really need to protect the boat, because she's still got another 20 years left to work on her, especially when I'm in control. So we definitely needed that extra strengthening here. So I'm very chuffed with this, and I'm just hoping that it's going to do exactly what it says on the tin. It's going to protect the boat. Right guys, the next job that I had to do was our stem plate. Now, our stem plate before was actually only 2mm thick, and after the 18 months that we were working, it took a little bit of a battering. I don't know what hit me or I hit it, I don't know 100% sure. So I decided I was going to beef this up. Now, I went from 2mm to 5mm. So yes, I've added extra weight to the boat, but that's not the thing. But by God, this is not going to take the battering that the old one did. Right guys, obviously that she had to get a full rundown, she had to get a nice good wash, we had to do a lot of filling in with the fiberglass, which I'm going to show you in a second. But our hardest job was actually doing our names and numbers, because I ain't no sign artist, so I had to learn the hard way, and what I had to do was actually trace it, dot it, pad it, and then paint it. And my God, see, trying to paint when the weather's coming in and going out, it was an absolutely nightmare. But we got it done, and doesn't she look wonderful? Now, also on the outside of the hull, what we've done is we've given the hull a complete compound polish. We've took it back a little bit, and then we've put a nice polish on the top, and I've actually done a ceramic coat as well. So it's my first time doing this, so I'm going to be very interested to see how it lasts over the next 6 months. And obviously, the last bit, the most important bit, is the anti-fouling. Now, we had to anti-foul the white line and the red. Now, that's there to protect the hull from all the lovely sea creatures and the seaweed and everything else that loves to attack your hull. So hopefully this will last another year quite well. Now, this took a wee job to do as well, because obviously I was fighting the weather as per usual, because Scotland has been absolutely hammered with cold, rain, weather, you name it, it's just been here. Right guys, the fiberglassing, right. This is an exterior coat. It's basically an extra coat on the hull itself, and it's there to help protect the hull from the creels. Now, unfortunately, I had to borrow some end weights. Now, the end weights were square, and when the boat took a little rolling, it done a lot of knocking. Now, when I investigated these knocks, because there was one or two chips in the actual glass itself, I actually had to go back quite far into this extra fiberglass. But we got it filled in properly. We got this bit filled in properly as well, because this is for bumps and scrapes. And then we got another bit of top coat, flow coat, put back over the top. And now it's going to look, it's going to do another season at least, that's for sure. Right guys, obviously, you've seen in the last vlog as well, that we put the sea cock in. That was another major job, and I'm going to tell you more about that when we go back inside the vessel to tell you exactly what it was all for. And the last thing, guys, for the outside of the hull is anodes. Anodes, anodes, anodes. They're the safety mechanism for your boat. This will stop your boat from getting eaten away for electrolysis if you're earthed right, of course. But the Lynsey B has full, brand new anodes throughout. Right guys, the pothole was also needing a little bit of attention to it, and it still does actually, but I've ran out of money and I've ran out of paint. But we'll not worry about that now. What I had to do was actually refurbish the block. The block was in a little bit of a state, so it needed a little bit of love, and it certainly got that. This is all ready for another season, it's all greased up, ready to rock and roll. I'm just hoping that it's going to last the test of time. Right guys, what I also had to do was actually replace the top of this console because it was in a rough state. As you can see, it's actually come up really well. I'm actually chuffed with it. I was going to replace it all, however, this is actually the original stuff, and I just done it to a different standard, as it were, and I think it's come up smashing. It's obviously not as posh as what it was before, however, it's practical now, and that's all we need to do at the fishing at the minute. Right guys, this is the piece de resistance. This is what I've been working on since the winter, and this is what's cost me all my money and time. Have a look at this guys, have a look at this. Hey, obviously everybody has seen the Seacock getting fitted. Now what the Seacock is for this little bad boy. This is my now new deck wash. Now this whole system cost me nearly £2,500. That's the Seacock, the pump, the fittings, and I actually had to get Yuri, you know Yuri, our special guy who made us all this lovely stainless steel. He was back to actually make the frame for the pump. And we actually just got it finished fitted this morning. I've been at this for weeks. So it's cost a lot of money, it's cost a lot of time, but it's going to be worth it for the summertime. I can guarantee you that, because we're going to get a lovely clean deck and the lobsters are going to get that fresh water that they need all the time. Right guys, before we finish up on our little tour around the boat, I just want to say a quick shout out to Marine Fire Safety. Now Scott up at Marine Fire Safety Scotland helped us out with the hire of our new life raft. Now this is a commercial 4-man life raft, so Jeff and I will be very safe indeed. Also what went away was my EPIRB was away for a service. Now that actually became rather expensive rather quickly. My PLB for my life jacket, my personal location beacon, that's the thing that sends up to the satellite to show you exactly where you are if you're in the water. It's away for a service as well, and it's no back yet, so that's another reason why we'll not be fishing straight away, because always, as always, safety, safety first. And our last piece is I have a new life jacket as well, so thank you to Suffolk Marine for the brand new life jacket, and yes, we cannot wait to get started, can we, Jeff?
No, definitely not.
We just need to get the weather to settle itself down just that little bit more before we decide to put the creels in, and we can get fishing again and doing exactly what you guys love to see us do. Right guys, that's the run through the boat done. Let's get on with the lift. So ladies and gentlemen, there we go, the Lynsey B's back in the water. Yes, we had a little technical hitch. That was all due to my stupidity because I was in the electrics once again, just before launch, and I had knocked the wire out on the starter button. So that was silly on me. As for the Lynsey B, she's running great, and we're just away to tie up after this. So guys, if you liked this vlog, please give it a thumbs up, please write a comment below if you have any questions, and please, please, please subscribe to the channel. That's always very helpful indeed. Until your next vlog, my friends, you take care of yourself. All the very best.